All right, standing here with Jamie from Our Sports Daily. We do a lot of stuff with them, covering Clemson, Notre Dame. When we run into each other, obviously you guys are back in Dallas. Obviously, we were both here in, I guess, late December. I guess first off, what's been the reaction at Notre Dame? Obviously, you guys making the college football playoff, the Cotton Bowl. I'm assuming there's some higher expectations.
Yeah, I think everyone was pretty excited about the season last year. You know, the fact that where Notre Dame was in 2016, going 4-8, and then going to winning 10 games the next year, and then kind of building on that. And I think right now there's a lot of excitement about the kind of the progress of the program. They made a lot of changes, made a couple big coordinator changes, a big strength and conditioning coordinator change as well, and I think there's a lot of positive momentum, and I think recruiting has gone better than it has in a while, and they're landing more of the elite guys that they want. They're not at Clemson's level or Alabama's level, but they're trying to get there, and I think in that sense, I think Notre Dame fans are kind of realistic about it, where they're obviously you played the game against Clemson. They know they're not at that level yet, but they kind of feel like they're progressing towards it closer than they have been.
Obviously, there's always been a lot of talk about Notre Dame is an independent. Can they make the playoff? Obviously, they've done that now. Does that help things?
I think it does. I think it gives the program just a better idea. I think the fact that they had to go 12-0 to do it, though, kind of shows that they need to continue to schedule like they have. They obviously have the ACC agreement, but this year, as it kind of worked out, they're not playing Clemson, they're not playing Florida State, they're not playing Miami, they're not playing one of the kind of more high-profile programs from the ACC. So, if they get USC is down right now, Stanford looks like they might be a little bit down. So that's the kind of thing that can kind of affect it. But that's why they scheduled Georgia and Michigan. But I mean, unfortunately, both of those games are on the road those years. Those are going to be tough games for the Irish.
All right, next year, Clemson fans get to make their first trip up to Notre Dame, most of them. You guys looking forward to having Clemson? Obviously, you guys have big-time programs all the time up there, but it'd be pretty cool to have Clemson visit next
Oh
year.
yeah, I think it'll be great. I think kind of similar to when Georgia visited in 2017. I think it'll be the same kind of vibe. I'm sure like Clemson fans are going to travel well up there. I know Notre Dame fans, there's a lot of people who they win the season ticket lottery, and they're looking to cash in, and they're going to try to sell some of those tickets. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of orange in that stadium. I think Notre Dame fans aren't really looking forward to Clemson coming down in terms of the team. They know that, Trevor Lawrence is still going to be there, Justin Ross is still going to be there, Xavier Thomas, all that talent that you guys have, and obviously this recruiting class you're bringing in right now. So they know it's going to be a tough game, but at the same time, that's kind of what Notre Dame is about, is playing those types of games and playing those types of high-profile programs. And I think when it comes around, people are going to be pretty excited about that.
Well, Clemson Notre Dame had a heck of a game a few years ago in Death Valley. Clemson comes back next year. They come back again 2 years later, and then you guys make another trip down to Clemson. Obviously, we're both out here covering some of the top guys. Obviously, you're looking at the Notre Dame guys that are out here at the Elite 11. Obviously, you guys have a quarterback here the last couple of days and got some other guys. Who are the big guys you're watching out here this week?
Well, I mean, Drew Pine is the quarterback here for the Elite 11. He's a Notre Dame commit, a longtime Notre Dame commit. He's having a pretty good camp so far. As the other guys are coming in, Michael Mayer one of the top tight ends in the country. Notre Dame always traditionally recruits great at tight end. Jordan Botello is a linebacker / defensive end. He's going to come here. He might not participate. He's coming off an injury, but we think he's going to be here. It's a little different, though, because he's going to end up playing as more of an edge rusher, and so it's a little bit different look for him here. But Chris Tyree is very high-profile back. He's like a borderline five-star kid, probably one of the best running backs Notre Dame has signed in a decade, really. And last year he won the fastest man here. He's the guy to watch. And they've got some other targets here, but it's not really the same kind of year that they've had in terms of the guys that are here. I don't know, maybe because some of the guys in the Midwest didn't go to all the camps or didn't participate, but they certainly have a good class, and the guys that are here are going to be guys that when they play Clemson, they'll be big parts of the team.
All right, last question for you. As you guys look ahead to this season, coming off the playoff, how do you feel about the team this season and the the schedule you guys have?
I think there's a lot of reason for optimism, right? I think they're probably going to be in a good position to win 10 games again. I think the schedule is the one thing. They don't play the toughest schedule, but the fact that they play, as I mentioned, Michigan on the road, Georgia on the road, they play Stanford on the road, and Notre Dame has had a really tough time with Stanford on the road. They don't have a lot of good fans there, but if for whatever reason they play well at home against Notre Dame. So that's like going to be a big game, big swing game. I don't know if Notre Dame, I don't really see them as a playoff contender this year, just because they got a little bit, too much to replace on the defense, defensive tackle and linebacker. But I do think they're going to be pretty good. And if things break right, they could win. They could win 11 games and maybe have a shot. But probably, I would say, 10 wins is probably that's the baseline where I think that they're looking at for this season.
All right, thanks for joining us. These guys will be covering everything all week long out here for Irish Sports Daily. We'll have you covered on the Clemson Insider.